Hello, this is Frontline here, and welcome to a director's commentary, and the first video that's actually going to be uploaded to the Behind the Frontline channel.
The weather is Weatherman Mike. For all your finance
In this episode, I am using a interesting setup at the moment. I am not having a webcam record me at the moment, and that is just because I kind of want to focus more on what the actual 2-minute news station setup looks like.
This is George McKay from the
I'm not really going
Station.
to allow them to talk too much, except maybe in some of my favorite parts. But it's like,
the show is condensed
I just kind of want to talk about a little bit of what kind of came up with the idea for 2-minute news station, and that is actually like a really long time ago, years ago. This whole entire idea came from the idea that I wanted to have it so that all the people at the 2-minute news station were just really up-positive people, and that no matter what was happening, they would enjoy it. They would enjoy whatever was going on. Because even right here, Stewie Spielberger with like the 60 film, it's like he gets killed right here. I'm also going to give away some spoilers, so you might want to see the actual entire season before you see this video. This is more of like an idea thing, like see what the director thinks after the fact.
Now, you see here.
So it's like in this cut.
It's the most immersive movie experience I've ever seen. Thanks, Stewie Spielberger.
See right there, it's like he was just kind of up positive about it.
There's some clouds.
And it's like Mike right here is one of my favorite characters. He is just one that I created, and the main idea I had behind that was just like kind of like the people's weatherman, kind of like really evolves around the entire season. Because he's the one who realizes that Newbie is actually the bad guy in the end.
I can't imagine why this kind of event should have occurred.
And right here is Bankman.
I can't imagine why either, Bankman. We are
I really like Bankman just because he's kind of like perceived as like a kind of slow-ish character. It's like he talks in a very slow tone, and it takes a while for him to like process some things going on. It's like that's just kind of one of the things that happens. Like he gets brainwashed into thinking that money is like really awesome, and that like Newbie is like the good guy in this whole entire situation when it's not. Also, I'm actually just going to mention the 2-minute news station season 1 like episode count. That's actually the first time I've really named the episodes like that. Because otherwise, I would normally just have it so that I haven't actually named the episodes yet. I should probably go back and individually name them.
Anyway, let's go, Mike, for the weather update.
Oh, this whole entire episode is also pretty awesome.
But wouldn't it be so sad if we had money for our poor camera?
This part was like,
and we're all broke.
That part was like kind of interesting to do. It's like just kind of having a transparent overlay, well, not completely transparent, translucent overlay with the alien kind of looking past. All these episodes have different themes to them that like revolve around the whole entire thing.
No, well that's why we want to burn our books. You know, Brother Tim tried to go calculus math, but then his head exploded because none of it made sense. National Math Day is truly a way to spread the word about this evil plague on our minds.
International Math Day.
Honestly, I really wish I had more characters like that. I really like the whole entire idea, just having a bunch of
victims.
That's 1 second.
For finances.
Like, I wish I had more characters like that I could just, like, kind of have appear and have, like, those personalities.
That's
but it's like, other than that, they're mainly just there to give one-liner puns.
And go bankrupt 1.5 times. Keep burning books, Mike.
You got it, George.
We are running out of time quickly on our show.
I still love Mike.
It's like, quickly mention that
he's just one of those upbeat characters that, like, you have to always, like, smile when, like, Mike comes on screen.
Just like
at least I do.
Cameraman here. If you would please like to call our toll-free number, we'll even offer you our promotional CD filled with the emotional songs such as My Creator Doesn't Think I'm Real and Maybe He's Right. But anyway, that about wraps it up for the 2-minute news station. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, the whole entire hologram cameraman was a really weird idea, but I just rolled with it. It's like, one thing I'm going to mention right here is that this episode was originally written, like last year. It was written in 2016, Like, a lot of these
Our
old
first story
episodes were written a
today is
long
about a
time ago,
scientist who might have just
but were
perfected
only, like,
technology
made
to bring people
recently.
back to life.
The
So it's like,
technology we have
this
here
episode was
the same
actually
production I have created.
meant to
You can
air
bring
on
family members
Halloween.
back from the grave.
I like wanted the
Complete
whole
and
entire series to be a
absolute.
lot earlier,
There
like have
are
a
no
Christmas
setbacks,
episode, have like
cause the
all sorts of
technology
other
actually
stuff.
work.
Well,
It just didn't
they
work
call them
out. It's like
setbacks, but, I mean,
wanted to create
the
it,
person you
and I didn't
revive
even
is
have
only
much time to
alive for
create
30
it
seconds
this
before
time
exploding.
around. Not
However,
to
this
mention
is
back
something the
around
team and I are
Halloween
working
and Christmas and all
I
that.
look forward to the day that this technology is perfected and we can finally reenact Thriller with real zombies. Anyway, it's time for the finance report with Bankman.
Bankman!
The stock market is actually crashing right now, but all will be fine in maybe 10 years or so.
I can't wait until then, Bankman. Now it's
I really wish I
Mike
had
with
like
the
some
weather.
sort of graphic
It be
designer that would be able to
thunderstorming like
have.
thunderstorm,
Well, I am a
George.
graphic
Maybe
designer
I
in
could
some
get struck
ways,
by lightning and
but-
sick.
and that's kind of
Well,
the
if
way I
one
was
thing
able
we
to
learned
design some
today
of these
is that
things.
wearing a suit of
But I
armor
wish
might
I was
just
able to
attract
have
lightning.
like a little bit more time to make it all look nice. Maybe
think
have a
my
little
cameraman's trying to
logo
tell
in
me
the
something.
corner of the screen having the 2-minute news station.
Spielberger.
But I was really trying to
But you
keep
died
the
in the
feel of
first
the news
episode.
station by linking
That's
it all to the
But
anchor,
the new technology
having the
has
bottom
allowed
little
me to
text
come
with
back
like
from
the
grave
main title and
seek
the
my
little
revenge.
tiny like silver lining underneath that tells more about it.
Nothing can stop me now.
Well, I guess that's
Those
another
effects and
cameraman
stuff are the
gone,
reason
another
why
great
I
film
can't
producer gone
record
from
on
spontaneous
Halo 5, by the way.
combustion.
It's like,
Anyway,
this
we've
is
run
all
out of time
recording
for this
Halo
episode of the
Reach.
2-Minute
I'm
News
not sure if
Station,
you
so
knew
this
that,
is George
but
McKay signing off.
it's a very
Good
older
night.
game. It was made in 2010. Well, it was probably made earlier, but it was released in
Hello,
2010.
this is George McKay from the
And,
2-Minute News Station, where our cameraman
like, the
gets
reason
blown
why
up by
this works
deranged
best
exploding
is
movie
because
directors.
all
We
the
have
armor,
hired
in
new
my
cameramen
opinion,
to
looks
take
a
the
lot
roles
more
in the open
realistic
position.
than any other Halo
I
game.
am Jessica Tosh.
Like
I
in
am
other
very
Halo
excited to
games,
be
they
the
just kind of look
Okay, that's enough of that.
plasticky.
Our main story
Like,
today
especially
is
in
too
Halo
important to
4
be
and
dilly-dallying
even
with
slightly
small
in Halo
introductions.
5, they
We
look
need to
like
finish up the
Lego
weather and
figures.
finances so we can get to
But,
the news. Bankman,
money.
In Halo
Mike, the
5,
weather.
what's
There's
kind of
a ring
annoying
in the
is that you
sky.
can only
Don't
have
have to
one
worry about that,
person
Mike.
in the game
We're
at a
running
time,
news station here.
and I only
Let's
have
roll
one
into the recent
Xbox.
election over President
So I
Hillary.
can have
This
one
year,
person
President
on the
Ronald
screen,
Trump has won the election.
but I'd
Our
have
first matter of
to
business is President
go into
of these
theater
five Halo
mode,
games
only
is to
have
beef
them,
up security. Security
unless I
would
do
be
something
huge.
amazing
The first
with
thing
the
I would do, first
editing.
thing, okay, is
Which
that
I actually do
no
later in the
more
season, but
illegal
we'll talk about
aliens
that
in
later.
This world. No
So
more.
it's like,
Now get the
right here I got
out.
Ronald
I need
Lum.
to yell at the Prime Minister of Call of Duty.
What a
And when I originally wrote that whole entire thing, it wasn't actually an acceptance speech, it was a debate against, I forgot what her name was, but it was like Mallory, kind of like Hillary.
What plans to tighten the policy on
So it's like,
quitting
it was
Halo
going to be a
games,
debate
building
between
a
the
large
two.
wall and not allowing
But yeah,
anyone
because I didn't
in
have
until the
time
game
for
is
that,
finished.
just
What are
kind of
your
ended up
thoughts on
being,
this?
hey, you know what, I'm
Ronald
just going to
does
have it
what
be like
Ronald
this,
does. I
and
might
have
perhaps
Mrs. Lump
find more
here.
interest in other things, such as baking and volunteering at homeless shelters.
Aw, what a sweet
Oh
old
yeah,
lady.
and it's like
You can
with
talk trash about
Mrs.
President
Lump,
all you
that's the
want,
actually
but
only
everyone has
character
to
that
admit,
isn't
he
voiced
has a
by me.
lovely
I have
Leia
voiced
Lump.
every single
Well, that
character.
about does it for
Lovely
tonight
Leia
on the
Lump,
2-Minute
yeah, that was a
News
joke
Station.
I
This
had
is
to
George
put in
McKay
there.
signing off.
Like
Good
immediately when I came up with the idea of Mrs. Lump.
Would
it's
you
like,
just call my wife?
yeah. No. That was just one of the things that I knew, okay, I can do
Hello,
this.
this is Mike
And
from 2-Minute News.
That just drove the
Normally,
episode.
our anchor George McKay would be introducing this, but he's
And,
not
but
here
this is
right
my
now.
all-time favorite
The
episode. This is
network
episode
wants us
5,
to
I
give
believe.
vacation days to the crew, so
And
we want
it's
to overwork
basically
them.
only Mike.
Immediately upon
It was
hearing this
amazing
news,
to write this
everyone
episode,
packed their
and even
bags
more
and went
amazing
straight
to
for the
like
door.
record my
So I
voice.
decided to run the station
Because this is my
myself
voice,
for the day.
raised up
But
2
first,
pitches.
We need to talk about the weather.
I just have like a southern accent.
Weatherman Mike, the
The
only one to predict the weather.
right. I just had to sing along.
Welcome to the weather report. Today, the weather systems predict that today is gonna be the best day ever. The sun is shining, the grass is growing, and there's nothing to bring me down.
I'm kind of getting
This
sidetracked
week's
with this
forecast
whole entire
will have
director's
gun
commentary
drops and
because the
rainbows
problem
with a
is
small
the 2-Minute News
eyes.
Station is actually
Now, we go
a
off
really
the main story with the
fast-paced
anchor.
station.
Yes, Mike.
that makes
what
it-
a wonderful day it is to be alive.
Yeah, it's
I
like
really
I
appreciate having a coworker like
eventually through the episode I
Aw,
just
thanks,
make
Joe.
Mike
You always
like
know
role
what to say.
play as other characters,
Well,
which
we
I
need to
really
get
thought
to our
was an
main story.
interesting thing to
There was a
experiment
fire
with.
this morning with 10 puppies inside. Thankfully, all the
But anyway,
players
like
were
the
escorted
2 Minute
out
News
of the
Station is a
building,
really
given
fast-paced
thousands of
show,
pounds
so it's
of
really hard to commentate
Oh,
over all
that's
this and say
amazing.
like
No, we need
why
to
I had
pay
every
with
single
finance.
detail
Thank
into
you,
it.
Mike. It's been
Maybe
a great
later
day
on
in the
I'll be
world
able
of
to talk more
finances.
about how I was
Money,
able to
good
create
enough.
the story,
Can't
but
even
like over
get
here
you.
there's a lot of
I
different
decided
tricks
to
I
use the
used.
company's funds to buy you a brand new Warhammer.
I mean, it's like this part was really easy. It was just like
This is the
taking
best gift
Mike's
for
armor
Bankman.
and literally
Don't
just
forget
applying
my
the
second
colors of the other
weather-themed
characters
segment
to
today,
be
the
able to
Weather
give the
King,
feel
featuring the star
that
of
they
the
were
show,
those
Weatherman
characters.
Mike.
And having them in
Thanks.
settings also
Now
helps a
our
little bit.
contestants today are Weatherman Mike and
And
Meteorologist Mike. And
All of
now
them are
for the
different
first
colors,
question.
by the way. They're all
What's
like
the
kind of shades of red.
between a
That guy's
cloud
orange,
and
one's
the
maroon,
sun?
and one's brick.
Meteorologist Mike. Is that the clouds or the bright ones? Sorry, that is not the correct answer. You are now disqualified from the competition.
One thing I'd
which
like to
means
mention actually
Weatherman Mike
is
wins.
that all of the
Yeah,
different
I always
weird
knew I could
things
do
that pop up at the bottom of the
I
screen,
hope you enjoyed
those aren't in
today's
the
episode
script.
of
I
2
literally
Minute
come
News
up with
Station.
those
See you
jokes
next
in
week.
editing. So if there's like a joke right there, it was saying like, I guess the clouds
Hello,
are the
this
bright
is
ones
George
because
McKay
they're
from
like
the
being
2 Minute
illuminated
News
by the
Station,
sun.
where we are
That was something
at
I
the bottom
came
of
up
the charts,
with in
but
editing.
top
I was
of
all
our
like,
hearts.
actually, maybe the clouds
Due to recent
are the
events,
bright
a
ones. It's just that the
revitalization
sun's
of the teleportation
brighter.
industry
You
has
know?
been underway, and one lead scientist has created the smallest teleport module yet.
What we have here is a glowing teleport module that connects to any other place in
When I first
As
created the
long as
idea
it
of the
receives
scientist, it's like the scientist was
Let me
actually in
show
the
you.
first ever episode of 2 Minute News Station, if you like noticed that.
Well, it seems as if the
Because before I
technology is
actually
a
did
little
this
less
full-length
exploded.
season,
On the bright
I
side,
also
though,
had
our
the
stocks
2 Minute
booming.
News Station
Well,
like
that's
pilot
fantastic
episode.
for them.
That
On
was
that
just
positive
2
note,
minutes.
let's
It
go
was actually my
with fun.
third video I think I made on the
We've
channel.
stolen the money
Or at least the
machine,
third
so we
productions
don't have to
video
be so bankrupt.
that I made.
Bankman,
Because I think my first 3 videos were all gaming videos. And one of them was just a
last week has been
like
found.
dice glitch in
The
Halo
reward
Reach. You can
money
check that out
will
on
most
a
likely not be
playlist
given
in
anymore.
my
But now
gaming
we'll pass
channel,
the
but
mic over to our
those are all
Weatherman Mike.
unlisted videos, so
A
you can
storm
only
of
find
acid
them
rain
in
has
that
just
playlist.
passed. I'm starting to think that my health insurance won't cover this.
That's the right attitude.
It was really weird to
In
have
other news,
like
there
the
has been a
skeleton
murder
in
the
Halo
town of
Reach,
Guiltyburg.
but
We take you
I
now to
really,
introduce
really
America,
tried
the
to make
chief
it
of police.
work. It looks
The
really
motive we
weird.
have found so
but
far
yeah.
is that the murderer did not like his gift of a banana slicer.
I can't really
In those
blame the
different
guy for
sequences,
not
I
liking
tried
banana
as hard as I
slicer.
could to have like
That kind of
DLC
gift
maps in the
doesn't sound
background so
too
that it'd be a little bit more
appealing.
interesting.
Hey, your weatherman started
It's like that was
with my
also a
teleportation
specific
technology and is now
decision on
teleporting
my
all
part
over.
This just
to
in,
be able
teleport
to have it so
technology has
that
just
people
been
who
hacked
maybe
by the
have
one and
played
the
Halo
only
Reach
Mike.
don't
If you have seen
associate
this
the
man,
different maps
report him to
with
the
their
authorities.
old memories, in case those
Hey,
memories are
there he is.
like maybe
Wait
bad
a
or like
second,
maybe they're
George.
just like giving away
And
from the
that's the
illusion
end of
that
Mike
it's
the
a
Weatherman.
station.
Tune in next
Having
week
the
to see how
DLC
we'll
maps,
know
it
if
makes
it's
it
nice
so that
outside.
oh, we're
Anyway,
in this
has
new
been all the time we
location.
have for the 2
Like I
Minute
can
News
just
Station.
focus on
This is
the
George
police
McKay
officer that's
signing
there
off.
instead of
Good
anything
night.
else. Alright, episode 7. We're almost halfway through.
Hello, this is George
Revitalization.
McKay from the 2 Minute News Station.
You may have
We're
noticed
still
it
using
already,
cameras from
but also
1978 due to
I
budget
noticed in
cuts.
editing, it's
Our
kind of
first story
sad that I
today
wish I
involves a
could
local
change it.
bakery chef. This
But it's
baker
like,
tried to
the-
enter the contest for the best
The
loaf of
camera
bread that
on
is.
the anchor actually
Unfortunately,
changes
he
throughout the
messed up his
season. It
recipe,
actually is
creating
pretty
a large
zoomed out
batch of
compared to
rye
the
bread.
late
He
season.
lost the competition,
And
but he
it like
still wins in money.
slowly zooms
Even
in
if
until
his
he actually
went
is
awry.
a normal
Anyway, Now it's
size.
time to go.
Because right here I
bit
find
on
this to be a normal
finances
size.
today.
Otherwise he was kind of zoomed out, not really
$60
filling
in
up the
world
screen at
right
all.
now, and that's like 3 trillion pizzas.
That's Bankman with the important facts right there. If we used up all the money in the world, we could solve world hunger. Or the hunger of our crew. Because let's face it, we're still bankrupt.
That's also
no,
one of the things
let's go
I
to the
probably
main story.
should have like
Police are
made
looking for
less
a man who is
jokes
stealing
about how
bread from a local
bankrupt this
restaurant.
like
The man is on the loose,
2 Minute
so
News
make
Station
sure
is.
you warn your relatives
But at the
that
same
happen
time, I
to
feel
live
like
in
it
your
was
local
a key
town.
part of the story.
I think you were supposed to insert
'Cause
the local
Newbie right
town
here,
into that sentence, sir.
He
Shut
is
up,
supposed
newbie.
to be
I'm
the
always
guy who
In other news, it seems as
has
if
the whole entire
scientists have better
advertising at
perfected
the end. He
technology
raises
to bring
lots of
people back
revenue.
to life. And, this time
And it's
without
supposed to be
combustion.
that the 2
We
Minute
now
News Station
go
is not
further
about
to
money.
lead scientists'
Yes,
experiments.
like they're
As you
a
see,
poor
we
news
have a
station,
dead
but they can
weatherman,
still make
killed in
content.
the
They can
last
still
episode
be
of the
all
2 Minute
right.
News Station.
Everyone's still
So
happy
now,
until
all
they
we
have
to
to
do is put him in
advertise,
this
and then
container.
Mike is
And
like
now we see
cut
what
off.
happens.
The anchor's kidnapped and locked in a closet with
Well,
nothing
I'm
but a
just gonna
Rubik's
say the
Cube.
weather update while all that goes down.
I love this
It
part.
seems that there is a large chance of rain, but it may clear up by midday.
Mike, how is it that you aren't in the machine being revamped right now?
Well, you see, due to the laws of quantum mechanics,
Okay, so I'm just gonna have to give a story here. I really don't want to interrupt Mike, but otherwise I won't have time to say it. So it's like when scripting first, I actually have breaks in between each episode that I write. It's like it makes it so that I am not like completely worn out by the
We're
end
out
of
of
the
time
day.
for this episode. This has
And
been George McKay.
one
See
time
you next
in one of the
time.
breaks,
Good
I
night.
actually killed off Mike. And I wrote episode 8 without even realizing. I just wrote, "Oh, it's Mike's birthday today."
Hello,
And it's
this
like,
is
all
George
right.
McKay from the
And
2 Minute News Station,
then
where we've got jokes so
I
old, even the
realized
chicken
when
can fly across
editing
our
my
road.
script,
Today is a very special day.
I killed
as we
off Mike
celebrate the
and
birthday of
never
one of our
clarified
crew
how
members.
he
Happy
got
birthday,
brought
Mike.
back to life.
George, today
So,
the weather is so grand.
That whole
With the
entire
overcast
episode was
weather.
compromised.
Well,
I
today
think
will
it was
be a
about
good
like
day for
burgers
you
or
once you
something
see
weird.
my
I'm
breath.
glad I got rid of that
Here you
episode because
go.
it was such a terrible
Wow,
idea.
the breath
Maybe I'll
of
do it
weather
for another
measuring
April
device.
Fool's episode
Thanks,
because that was
George.
awful.
No problem,
But
Mike.
yeah,
Hey, happy birthday, Mike.
I
got you a gift myself.
I was able to
A
fix
tank?
it by bringing
Well,
back the
that's much
scientist.
better than
The scientist was supposed to be a bigger
living in the
character. Like I was saying earlier, I think I got interrupted,
gift
but
was still
yeah, I was trying to
better
make
than
it so that the scientist
Anyway,
would
we
be
need to get
present
to the
throughout the
actual
season.
story here. A
But
local
yeah, the last
international
time we
house
saw the
gangster
scientist was
IHOP
just
was
when
being
he
robbed
revamped
this last
Mike
night,
and
and
never
the
got
thief
heard
got
from
away.
again.
Unfortunately, the police could not do anything about the robbery due to the crimes being committed in international territory. Anyway, here's
I still
Big Man
like
with
that joke.
finances.
I found
It wasn't that
32
great, it was
cents
more of, like,
for the
filler,
couch
but-
cushions today.
It's like it still
Well,
worked
at
out.
least we aren't bankrupt anymore.
I don't know how to control this thing.
These sequences are really interesting to make because
know
it's
how to
actually
stop the
kind
game.
of hard to
Bankman,
work with
no.
it. I'm the only one operating the controller, so I had to operate Mike driving the tank forward as well as Bankman going about and
Mike,
punching
you all right?
the thing.
I'm alright, but my spine isn't quite working at the moment.
Well, fantastic.
Fantastic.
That's the end of this broadcast of the 2 Minute.
So it's like
Station.
that last
we'll
part where
see
it
you
said like
next
first
week.
strike in the
This is
background.
George
That was
McKay
actually
signing
kind
in.
of a mistake
Good
on my
night.
part. It's like I tried in the future to have it so that it didn't have the random voice doing that.
Hello, this
But
is
after
George
I get
McKay
a
from the
take,
2
it's
Minute
kind
News
of
Station,
hard to
where we now
actually
have a
get
live
rid of
option
that
to
sound.
appreciate
That
good
sounds like
quality
a part of
reporting.
the recording of the game
I thought
in
this
theater.
was a real news station.
Why are we in Halo Reach?
Well, on tonight's broadcast, we will report on a missing subject.
Yeah, the third guy is always like the kind of ironic character. I like the audience. The live studio audience was really awesome. And in combination with Newbie being gone, it really showed that like the
But anyway,
audience
now
was
it's
able
time
to
look
just
at the weather
blow up
It seems that there's
because
a gas in
they
here.
didn't like
You're
the anchor.
outside, Mike.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, we need to move on to our main story. One man tried to hold a pet store hostage last night at 10 o'clock. However, one of the adoption dogs ran up to the man and bit
Yeah, I
him
like to
until
use
he was
clip
taken
art
down by
because it's
store employees.
oftentimes
You
not
could say the robber
copyrighted,
was
and it's like
barking up the wrong tree.
I'm betting I
Boo,
probably
get
could
off
have
the
used
stick.
copyrighted images,
I
but
thought
I
it was
feel like
fun.
it's a little
Anyway,
bit more
let's go Bankman
moralistic
for the
to
finance report.
not
Well, finance
infringe
is
on
pretty good,
the
Mr.
creator's rights.
Newbie, how are you there reporting the finances? Where's Bankman?
He's off somewhere. Money.
Who's this new
That was actually kind of funny. I actually
He doesn't
completely
even
forgot to
speak
record
English.
Bankman's part for
Okay,
that.
that's
So I
enough.
just stole
Newbie, you need to
his
find Bankman
line
to give a real
from
report on
the
finances.
fourth episode of
Well,
2 Minute
I
News
can give
Station
the
where he
finances
just
myself.
like literally
The
just
live
says
audience
money
loves me.
when
News station
Ronald
ain't
Lump
bankrupt
needs to
anymore
be the
since
main
I arrived
person to
here.
be reported
We
on.
love you, Josh Katosh.
You're the greatest.
George McKay.
If you look on the left, that character moved a little bit, you see?
Oh no! It
So
seems
it's like-
our first live
That was actually
audience
the
has
only thing I could do, because I only have
spontaneously
3
combusted. We
controllers.
will have to end our show right
I couldn't have a
This has
third
been George
person
McKay,
do
and
the
I will
rocket
see you
launcher.
next
I
time.
had to have that
Bye.
one audience member move backward into the landmines, and that's what blows up.
Hello, this is
So it was a
George
little
McKay
bit of
from
a
the
camera
2 Minute News
illusion
Station.
trick that I
And
was
this
able
is
to do.
Josh Katosh, the people's top choice for best anchor.
Newbie, what are you doing here?
Here's where the
I'm now
whole
your
entire
co-anchor.
story comes in
Ever since the
interesting.
ratings of the show went up, I
I
was
really like the
prepared
whole
to
entire
give
idea of
the
a
people what
story
they want.
arc where,
Plus, the
yes,
camera
every
floating
episode is
midday.
individualistic
It's not like we
and
ever
has
really
like
needed
random
a cameraman.
stories, really
Anyway, we
doesn't
will
have
start off
too
this
much
broadcast with
cohesion.
our first story.
It still is
Today is the
able to
annual
have
Mongoose
some
Race,
sort
where
of story
competitors
to
from
it.
all
It's like
over the
there's a
ring
little bit
come to
inspired by
win
Red
Badger
vs.
Cup.
Blue in some
We
ways,
now
because
go
those
to
are
Mike to
also
see
kind
how
of
the weather
one-off
will be like
episodes.
there.
Well,
they really
George,
do tell a
the
story.
weather is gonna be my
Later
favorite
on,
today.
they kind of
There's a
decided
hint
to
of some solar
really
rays, but
emphasize the
nothing
whole entire
stops you,
story.
right?
Boom, Spartan laser.
It seems that our weatherman has now been taken down.
But
by
yeah,
the
it's like
random
I was
weather team.
awestruck by the
Well, I
first
guess
5
that just means
seasons
you show
of Red
more
vs.
some more
Blue.
sunblock.
Good
It's like
one,
those were the
George.
best seasons in my
Well,
opinion.
after
I kind
that
of watched
catastrophe,
some of the
we
rest,
go to
but never
break down
really
the
continued
finances.
past, I don't
You're
think,
the
season
best,
9.
Josh.
Oh, you don't have
Josh
to say
Katosh
that.
is so darn
Oh,
posh.
but I must. We're really well off due to all this bribe.
Well, how about we go to
And that was also a
another
little
segment
bit
now?
of
Take it away, George. All right.
foreshadowing.
One local
'Cause
man
it said, like, the
has created a business
brainwashing
where people
thing with
can rent
the,
space
Josh
to store their
Katosh
horses.
subtitle.
You could say he
So
finally
maybe
has
only
a
some
stable
people caught
job
on to
now.
that. Maybe no one caught on to
Breaking
that.
news with the
But
annual
yeah,
muffin
it's like
race.
Bankman's
We
pretty
now
much
go to
being
Mike for
brainwashed
another
during this
update.
whole entire thing.
I've just recovered
Mike's not really
from the
questioning it
solar
because the
rays out
anchor's
here.
not gone.
But now we
Mike
have
really
a little
likes the
action
anchor.
out
He's
in the playing field.
not really.
It seems that one
It's more as
reckless
a
going
friend. I don't want to
is attacking anyone wearing red.
have it be like that because in the future I kind of
It
want
seems
Mike
that the event will
to
now be
be
canceled,
involved
which
with
is
some
pretty
sort of
sad,
girl.
because I really
I don't
wanted
want
to
to
see
spoil
Mike
anything.
get
It's still
ran
in
over one more
my
time.
script. I
This has
haven't.
been all the time we have.
So this is
I haven't
Katosh
completed
signing off.
anything yet,
Good
so
night.
it's all in the works. I'll figure something out with that, and then we'll
This
be
is
able
George
to
McCabe,
talk
two-man
about it
news
in
station,
Where
season
the
2,
viewers are
which
top priority.
hopefully I'll make.
Well,
I'm planning
our
on
first
season
story
2 at
comes
least.
in from a new restaurant in town, Green Lobster. Here we go on the scene to the owner.
You see, we wanted to make our company stand out. And
The one thing I really want is that
environmentally
if I make a
friendly.
season 2, I
That's why
really
we
want to
use
have more
genetic
voices.
engineering to
Because if you
recolor
haven't
our
noticed, a
lobster
lot of
and
my
know that
voice is
we're
just
going green.
Well, that's great.
a lot of my
Now
voice
go, Mike,
is
for the
just
weather
having
today.
my voice
Today is
low,
gonna be a dark
low
day
pitch. It's like
indeed.
Mike is
With
one
a
of the
small
weird
hint of
characters where I
purple
actually
as well.
went up.
Thanks for the detailed report, Mike. A new
But yeah,
report
it's like
just came out
Bankman's
about a
low and
protest on
Newbie's low.
legalizing pig
The only
karate.
difference between
The
Bankman
new
and
sport has
Newbie
reached
that's
astonishing
really distinguishable
popularity
is how
online
fast they
when
talk.
everyone started to realize that the pigs
It's like
were
I tried to
literally
make a
pork chops.
slight difference.
Well, that was awful.
And I don't think I
Well,
did
I'd like to
that
see you
great
do
of a
better,
job,
Newbie.
but I mean,
All
you can
right.
definitely tell who's talking at
Researchers have
least.
found out that no two people can see a color in the same
You
way.
wouldn't believe it
This
if you saw it,
astonishing discovery
but you
truly
wouldn't.
proves how colors are just a pigment of your imagination.
He really got you there, George.
I thought you were on my side, Mike. Alright, you win this round, Newbie. But I am the joke master. In the end, I will reign supreme.
I'd like to see you try. But for now, it is time to go to Bankman for the finance report. Thanks, Josh.
Yeah, the whole entire thing with
Research
2 Minute
has
News
just
Station was
come
just
out
a bunch
saying
of
that
puns.
it is
I am like
indeed
a
possible
pun
to
writer.
live
I
alone without
really
money.
enjoy writing
However,
puns.
I find this
So,
information
That was just one of the
not
things that I wanted to do.
sense.
It just,
Is everyone
made
against me today?
Yes, we are.
I was about to say
But
it
that
just
is all the
made
time we have
sense,
for the
and
2 Minute
literally
News
that was the pun that was
This
on the screen at the
Is
moment.
George
That's
McCabe
coincidence.
signing off.
I didn't mean to do
Good
that,
night.
but yeah. Like I wanted to have a little bit of personality in the script, and it's like the anchor is
Hello,
mainly
this
my
is George
personality.
McCabe from the two.
But I feel like I relate
the only
most to
place where you
Mike.
can't
Mike
be free
is
talking
really
on
awesome.
Tuesday, and I seem to be the only one who cares about it.
To start off with, we give you the finance report with our finance specialist, Bankman. It has come to my attention that if we
And this is the
don't
last
do
episode that
anything
happens
about our
before Newbie
financial
takes over,
situation,
and this
the
whole
2
entire
Minute
story
News
is
Station may
really.
have to close down.
Yeah, it's like
See if I
this is actually
join a
Bankman's
better
longest
station,
line,
I'll
I
get
think,
paid
until the
something
last
other
episode.
than slices of bread.
Well, I've always liked my sliced bread.
Because
It makes it so that
Bateman
I'm
normally
always
doesn't have that
ready
many
for my
long
next
lines.
paycheck.
In episode
In
4,
other
he
news, it
literally
seems
just
as
had
though
the
a new
line
violent
of
video
money.
is released to influence children to commit crimes out on the streets.
One
It's like
concerned
there's
parent
not very
in
much
an interview
dialogue
showed
between
her
Mike and
major
Bankman,
concerns.
but their
I
characters
don't like
really
how
develop
violence is so
relatively
greatly
well, in my
praised in these
opinion.
video games. It's not right for our children to be raised in such a way.
And we here at the 2 Minute News Station also praise video game
Hmm.
violence, hoping that the lessons there will help our little tykes grow up good.
McKay, the whole interview.
Yeah, you
there
have to
was
admit,
anti-video
Newbie is a
game.
lot smarter than the anchor.
What were we doing
And
here
that was
being
one
a
of the
twat like
characteristics
that?
I wanted
This
to
is
have.
A
but
dignified
the anchor
news
wasn't
station.
that
George,
smart.
you left your princess dress out in the lobby again.
Dang it! I
And
meant
this-
to.
that's one of the
so it wouldn't
characteristics,
get
too.
wrinkles
It's
on
like,
it. But while you're
He's a really
why don't you
wacky
do the weather
character
report?
that like tries to act
Okay.
serious, but
Today
in
is gonna
reality,
be
he's
a
not
good
very
day,
serious
folks.
at all.
Thank you, Mike.
Did you just call me a twat?
Yeah. It was just live a few seconds ago, and probably thousands of people have seen it by now. Do you have short-term memory or something?
Well, it seems as though we ran out of time for this episode of the 2 Minute News Station.
Yeah, for this
is
this
Josh
whole entire
Katosh
part
signing
is
off.
like I thought
Goodbye.
that the idea would be construed. It's like really the person went on a rampage trying to
Hello,
attack
this is
George, but I
Josh
never was
Katosh
able to
from the
record
2 Minute News Station.
both of them
The
on the
official
same
proud
screen, like I said
sponsor of
earlier,
Future
without doing
Energy
some weird
Future
camera
Energy,
tricks.
The only
drink to prevent brain disease.
So,
Anyway, let's go to Bankman with finances.
So yeah, this is the first
The
episode
stocks
with
for
that.
creature energy have just gone
And it's like, I just
It
made it
seems
so
that the
that, you know what, I'm
company
just
is
going to
doing
have her go
new
crazy,
recipe
like have the gravity hammer go
Wasn't that
all over
new
the place in
recipe
the background
adding a
with the
bunch
sound
more
effects.
caffeine?
Mike, caffeine is a great source of energy.
It just
They'll
implied
help
that
people
George
to
was
go
about to
their
get
daily
his
lives. But
his
that's
butt
enough
a
of
whooping.
that. Our main story here is about the increase of fire recently downtown. Police are trying to track down the suspect, but you could say he's too hot to handle. Now, on to the weather update with our
UB
man
also
Mike.
kind of really
Well,
fits in
today
well.
is
It's
going
like
to
he
Cloud
does
Nine.
have
Alright, we have to
pretty
cut
good
down on the
puns.
weather report to bring you
That was one of the
breaking
points of
news.
the Battle of the
Oh,
Puns in
never
episode
cut
11,
down
that they were
on
kind of
the
battling
There is
against
a
each
new
other.
report that dog people are
'Cause
indeed
he
more likely
actually
to connect with other dog
Does no
Researchers
puns.
conclude that for cat people,
It's just
life
that,
must
like,
be
he
rough.
really cares about
Hey,
money
Josh.
more.
Yeah, what do you want, Mike?
Where did George go?
Well,
he kind of
decided
doesn't
to go
like
on a
Mike,
small
and that's one of
vacation.
his
The
downfalls in
Caribbean,
some
he
ways.
said he was
'Cause
going to.
going against
see,
Mike, you go
we can't
against the
solve
whole entire
on this
idea of the
persona
2-minute
of
news
our
station.
anchor, but rather we must move on to better news. And speaking of news, it appears that we now have an interview with the key arsonist who is terrorizing buildings
I love
downtown.
this part right
The
here.
only thing I ever wanted
Because I just added a little mustache, kind of like I did with Ronald Lump with
now
his
I can
hair.
only burn down buildings for fun. What a terrible tragedy. As I close
It was
off this
literally
episode of
just
the
a
2-minute
mustache
news
to
station,
keep his
there's
disguise.
an offer for the new drink.
Admit so
where
that
if you
Monster
type
Energy
in
was the
code
main
Josh
thing.
Katosh rules, then you will receive a 10-cent discount
I
coupon
love the
when
Z.
ordering
It's like
a purchase of $30
Josh
or
Katosh
more.
rules. That wasn't
That is
actually in
all
the
the
script.
time
It
we
was
have
just Josh
today
Katosh
for the
rules
2-minute news
spelled
station.
like normal.
So this is Josh Katosh.
But yeah,
signing
again,
off.
whenever I come up
Goodbye.
with those little things at the bottom, that's always when my creative juices start flowing and try
Hello,
to
this
enhance
is
the
Josh Katosh
experience.
from the 2-minute news station.
And this is Mac from the 2-minute news station, where everyone is now begging the question, where is George?
Hey, get out of here, you weatherman. I already told you he is on a European vacation.
You said he was on Caribbean.
Anyway, our first story.
That's also
is
the part of the
sponsored by
story that
Sport
really
Titles, the proud
relates to
endorser
Newbie's
of
downfall.
football
He's
and
not very good at
sombreros.
geography.
Here we go, to see
And
us
also
at
not
the
very
new
good at
location
keeping
that
his
opened
story
up just
straight.
last
He just
Tuesday.
says, oh, he's on
Hello,
vacation.
This is Bankman here.
He should have said he's
I
just on
really
vacation,
enjoyed
because then he wouldn't mess up the
This
story.
new
you know?
location needs your
Instead of
help
saying
in getting
Caribbean
lots of money.
vacation, or
So I would suggest you go over to
I already said
Sports
Caribbean.
Tacos,
What was the other place?
Champions restaurant. And get
European vacation. That
Thanks,
was the other one.
Bankman. Now on to our first story. But first, an important message.
the money. Have you ever had trouble with all the clutter in your home?
I really wanted to create a
Freshen
skit
up
for
all
this,
the
but I ran
stuff
out
you
of
have.
time, so I just
Well,
had like a random
C.S.
announcer.
Johnstein introduces Bacon,
Bacon
Spray.
spray.
Now with extra grease to make your furniture slick and bacony fresh.
C.S. Johnstein, a clammy
And
company.
clammily, I put like the
And
definition
now we
there
are
because it
back,
was like
just in time
it rhymed
for the
with
first
family
story.
company.
But this is normally
like
the pop
kind of a
show where the
parody
weather
of,
is announced.
Oh, I'm not
forgive
sure.
me.
I
Go
think it's
on.
S.C.
We
Johnson.
are expecting
But I had
a
C.S.
hurricane.
Johnson.
Oh, well, that was an amazing
John
report,
Steen,
Mike.
even.
Bankman, can you please now go to introduce the new product?
Why, of course, Josh. You see, us
Yeah,
at the
there's literally
2-minute
no
news
stories in this
station
whole
are
entire
simple
thing. This is
folk,
basically
and we
just
believe in
advertising.
finely peeled bananas. However, it is annoying to do this.
I couldn't
task
actually find a
ourselves,
picture of
as
the
it
banana
takes
peeler,
lots
by the
of
way, so
brain
that's the
power
reason
for
why
our
this
tiny
editing thing
minds.
is a little bit
So now we
weird.
introduce the banana
So in the corner,
peeler. That
it's
way,
literally
we
a
can
garden
focus
tool. I was
more
just
on
all like, you know what,
breaking
I'm just
news
going to search in
instead.
Google Images
Now
tool,
back to you, Mr.
and I found
Todd.
one of the images that
Hey,
was like,
I didn't get to finish my
royalty-free
weather skit
that I
for
could
the
just
second
use
time
myself.
since you took over. What gives? And what happened to the anchor?
Oh, I'm sorry, but we are out of time for today's episode. Tune in next week for more products that you must have. This is Josh
Yeah.
Katosh signing off. Good night.
and the whole entire thing with 2-minute news station is also turned into a satire, because right here, I'm actually not going
Hello,
to talk,
this is
because
Josh
this is
Katosh
interesting
from
as
the
so
2-minute
so
news
cut.
station. The only program where advertisements are more entertaining than actual news. Isn't that right, Bankman?
It sure is. I wouldn't want to focus on the boring news anyway. Too many bad things are happening in the world.
That's right, Bankman. And that brings us to our first story.
Yeah, that was like
Josh,
the whole
I would
entire
like to
thing
have a
that
word
was an
with
interesting
you.
theme to
Oh,
bring
shut
in.
up,
That
Mike.
It's like,
Nobody likes you.
just because you don't
That's
like
where
the news
you
doesn't
are
mean
wrong.
you shouldn't really
Everyone
be
likes me.
informed.
I
In
was
some
the
ways, it's
fun
like
with man.
Too many bad things
I
are happening
didn't
in the
see
world right now. It's like
on
that's not an
information
excuse to
of
just
how
be
many
ignorant.
degrees
Ignorance
it
may
is
be bliss,
outside.
but it's still
I
ignorance.
didn't say that we were reaching.
I also
record
love this
highs
part.
year.
I mean, some of his logic is kind of fallacious. Like, he has kind of some fallacies. Like, that 1905, I mean, weather patterns weren't really that bad at, like, predicting weather. Well, maybe they were a little bit bad at predicting weather, but they weren't that bad at measuring weather at that point, I don't think.
You took that away from
But yeah, I love this part just because, like,
when
when I was writing the speech, I was all like, what would happen if we just had some random patriotic music in the
George
background?
away from you, huh? He's on
And that
a
actually
Canadian
made this
trip to hunt alpacas.
scene so much
You
better,
really
in my
don't
opinion.
know
It's just-
geography, do you?
the music just
George?
ramps up
George?
slightly.
That's right,
It doesn't
I'm
get
back.
too high.
No thanks
and
to
then the
you, dear.
flag
You
comes
locked
in
me up
and
in
it's
the
like,
closet
bam,
with
right
a Rubik's
there,
Cube to occupy
America.
my time. And I still haven't solved it yet. Well, if you had just memorized the algorithms. Algorithms ruin everything, newbie. And so do you. Well, if you
That was
truly
one of my
feel
favorite
that way
lines.
about me,
There's a
how
lot of
about
good
you
lines
face
in this
my
finale.
Bankman.
Because everything
Hey,
wraps
hey,
up.
hey, who wants to pay?
Bankman, what are you doing? I thought we were friends.
This news station never makes any
Because a lot of the
money, George.
themes become
Josh
a lot more
offered me
obvious in the
one thing I
finale.
love,
It's like everything
and that's
ramps up to
dollars
this
raining
point.
from the heavens. Goodbye, George.
No! Not
Not
George.
George.
You
Right
should
there.
have stayed a cameraman, newbie.
And why would I want to do that?
Because of the camera's secret weapon.
The camera really was a
What
secret
happened,
weapon.
Mike?
Money happened,
Because he
Bankman.
should have stayed a cameraman. Because
Money
that was
happened.
literally one of the better things
Does
about the
that
job.
mean we're not bankrupt anymore?
Oh, this scene was interesting to make too in itself. Because it actually...
I still want my money.
I'm going to pause it right here. Because that's the actual end to the season. So it's like... that scene was actually interesting. I'm going to rewind it. I'm actually going to like pause it right there. Because right here, we have it so that the Bankman and Mike are both in the same room. And the way I was able to do this actually was I had it so that we spawned in the same place. The camera is really interesting in Halo Reach. I had it so that it just stayed in one place the whole entire time. Switched game modes. So on the right, Mike is on one side. And then in a second game, I had Bankman there. And I used a clipping mask to be able to have both of them in the same screen. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to line their feet up quite right. They're not quite facing each other. But again, it's like this episode two or this season of 2 Minute News Station was a bunch of like me running out of time, and I felt as though the feel was good. There was just a few minor mistakes that I would have been able to fix if I just had a tiny bit more time. But yeah, this scene ended up good. It was one of the only times, I think it was the only time, that I actually had multiple characters like this. So the trick earlier, actually, I'm going to mention this really quickly at the end of this director's commentary. You know how there was the live studio audience? That was able to be done because all of them have default armor on. But this wasn't able to be done because if you have a guest account, you can't actually customize their armor. So that's the reason I had to use the clipping mask and have both of them actually in character, in costume, working like this. But anyway, that's pretty much it for this episode, or not really this episode, but that's pretty much it for this director's commentary, the first ever episode on the first ever video. I keep saying episode, I'm used to my gaming channel. So this is the first ever video that I have on my Behind the Frontline channel. If you liked it, like the video, and as always, I will see you next time. Bye.
Hello, this is George McKay from the 2 Minute News Station. Our recently formed station here is the place you can find all the news you need for your daily lives. The show is condensed so much that all of the boring news, like that one serial killer on Wall Street, is skipped, and you can get back to your day worry-free. Anyway, let's go to our first story.